You're a sick man.
Hi guys, I'm going to give you a quick and precise recap on a 2022 movie titled Wildflower. I promise to make it interesting, so sit back and enjoy.
Told you, leave me alone. I told you. I told you. Leave me alone.
A young lady, Rolake or Rolly for short, got an interview in a big construction company, Ocean Heights Construction Limited, and was really excited to work as a personal assistant to the CEO of Ocean Heights, Mr. Gowon. At the interview, she meets Mr. Gowon, and good thing she was able to impress him. Meanwhile, a struggling mother, Mama Adolisa, and her children, Adolisa and Cecilia, were sitting at the living room when their father, Prince Jimmy, arrived home. He came in drunk and immediately demanded for food. Jimmy doesn't take care of his family and beats his wife regularly at any slight provocation. That night, because he didn't provide money for his wife to prepare something for the family and the last meal was already finished, he started beating his wife brutally, leaving a huge mark on her face. Rolake finally got the job and resumed her duties immediately as the PA. She was so beautiful and hardworking that Mr. Gowon complimented her beauty, leaving her in an uncomfortable situation. At one of the company's business presentations, Rolake was able to convince their investors to invest in their company. This impressed Mr. Gowon and he was happy about how close she pays attention to details. Rolake admires his boss so much and regularly praises him in front of her boyfriend, Nedu, even preferring to speak with her boss at late night than spend quality time with her boyfriend, thus making him jealous. Meanwhile, Mama Adolisa was disciplining her daughter at night on an issue which wasn't really her fault, and after her daughter walked out on her, she got angry and complained to her husband, Jimmy, about her daughter's attitude towards her. Something led to another issue and they got into a heated argument and he started beating her again over and over. The beating was so much that she collapsed and died. Out of fear, Jimmy ran away, leaving her corpse behind. This event totally traumatized her children. Rolake came running to their aid with her boyfriend. Then she decided to stay with the children to comfort them for the night. Then we can see Rolake packing some of her belongings for a business trip with her boss the next day, which Nedu wasn't happy about because she will be alone with her boss throughout the whole trip. But Rolake says she's a grown-up lady and will be fine. Okay, she left the next day, but not before entrusting the children into safe hands of Mommy Asapolo, a close neighbor, for the period she will be away. Finally, at the trip, at this point, it is clear that Mr. Gowon has an eye for Rolake as he stares at her with lust and compliments her. That night, he got a reason to get into her room with the claims to help her out in her presentation the next day, but it shows he has something else up his sleeves. Meanwhile, at Adolisa's new family, she snuck out to mourn her mom's death privately in her mom's room, then came out crying and sorrowful. She met a young man, John Tanner, passing by, who from records is a hoodlum in the neighborhood. John Tanner claims she's safe with him, but this wasn't so because Rolake has previously warned Adolisa to stay away from John Tanner by all means necessary. I guess she was so sad that night she needed someone to confide in, so she followed him into the house. Back to Rolake and Mr. Gowon at the hotel room. Mr. Gowon started touching her in an inappropriate manner, but she immediately shunned him, though this wasn't enough as she got overpowered by him and forced into sleeping with him. At the same time, back at home, John Tanner was also making moves on Adolisa, but she refused and he also forced himself on her. Luckily, she attacked him with a glass before he could do anything and ran away from him. After the unfortunate event, Rolake tried to pretend nothing happened, but was visibly sad and helpless. She got back home to learn the news of the attempted rape on Adolisa and was so mad at Jontana. Later, Jontana was arrested.
Calm down now. Officer, I swear I did not.
Adolisa was taken to the hospital, and good thing it was only an attempted rape and she's okay, but was nevertheless given medications like the PEP, which stands for post-exposure prophylaxis, basically an antiretroviral medication taken when exposed to HIV in any way to prevent infection within 72 hours of exposure. Rolake realized Mr. Gowon might be infected, so she requested some medications too. The smart doctor, Dr. Naomi, was able to put two and two together from their discussions that since she works with Ocean Heights Company as a PA, that she might be raped, just like the previous patient she had, who also worked with Ocean Heights out of shame. Rolake denied it. To Rolake's surprise at the office, she had been replaced by a new girl. Ha! I pity her. So she returned back and opened up totally to the doctor on how she was raped by Mr. Gowon in a bitter tale and how much she longs to make him pay for what he did to her. Meanwhile, she also opened up to her boyfriend, Nedu, hoping to find comfort in him, but he rejected her and stormed out because he had warned her before, but she paid deaf ears. So sad. The whole thing was gradually coming down on Rolake as she sought for a way to make him pay, but this wasn't his first time. He has been doing this for a while now, and no one dare stand in his way because of his fame, money, and power. That very incident continued to haunt her, and finally she decided to speak up. So she revealed what happened to her on the social media. This video of hers got so much attention on the internet, the news, and so on. Watching the news from the other side was Yinka with her husband, Dotun, a pastor. She was once Mr. Gowon's victim some years back, though she's willing to help Rolake bring him to justice this time around. But her husband refused her from doing so because of his fears of what the public would say and his church. Mr. Gowon started feeling the impact of Rolake's act on the social media as he loses his contracts and finally got dismissed as the CEO of Ocean Heights. But he wasn't done yet. He was ready to fight this to the last. He intended on suing Rolake to court because he knows he's capable of winning in court because of his wealth and fame. Good thing Rolake had some NGOs behind her on this race. More women that were once Mr. Gowon's victim in the past started opening up, and about 10 of them came up so far. Finally, Dotun decided to let her wife do what she thinks is right for Rolake to win this case. Now we can see that Yinka has a potential evidence, a voice note of Mr. Gowon immediately after she had been raped by him years ago. Now, the day of the court appeal, Mr. Gowon testified lies and also paid people to lie against Rolake in such a convincing manner. Rolake doesn't have much evidence and almost lost the case when finally Yinka came up with the audio record as he had evidence against him, and now he got to pay for his wrongs. There are so much lessons to learn from this video. We should say no to domestic violence and rape. We should speak up to bodies set up to tackle this issue on time. I hope you liked it as I did. Thanks for watching. Be free to check out our other interesting videos. As always, I promise to meet your expectations. See you there. Bye bye.